Good morning, good afternoon. I'm so happy to be here. How many have seen my talk a few weeks ago in Tel Aviv? So I'll know. One. Okay, cool. Because I'm gonna show a few things you've seen, but some new stuff. My screen is up. Thank you. Thank you so much, Steffi, for everything. Okay, so I'm going to put my timer because I have 15 minutes. Thank you. Okay, so first project I'll introduce. I was approached 3 years ago, actually, by NASA. I got a phone call, and they told me that they're working on a long-term project. They said it's a 15-year project where their goal at the end is to enable their team, their people up there, to be totally self-sufficient without any need to be depending on Earth. And the first step is they're building a zero-gravity 3D printer. And they said, we would like to offer you to be the first artist to do a piece of art up there in space. Let me show you a 1-minute preview of a documentary Vice have done, and then I'll share with you the project, but also I'm going to show you for the first time a spatial movie that the astronauts have made for me, which was kind of cool to get an email. The astronaut made a video for you. So this is a 1-minute preview. First piece of art in space. The reason was they created a new kind of printer, a 3D printer that can print in zero gravity. And I came up with the idea, how about making a shelter to space using sound sculpture? And then a friend of mine said, why don't you do a human laughter? And I said, wow, you're so right. We all laugh. We invite people to go online and they can record their laughter. And then actually the wisdom of the crowd actually choose which of the laughter they want to send to space to represent humanity. It was very intellectually challenging to try to forget about fundamental issues we have as humans and how we fuck up the world and elevate it to we're amazing creatures and we're doing amazing things and look where we got. So December 1st, a few months ago, I released an app where I invited the world to laugh. Only humans laugh. So he's going to laugh now. And in 30 days, over 100,000 people actually submitted their laughter. And when you laughed, you actually painted what I call a laugh star. And I asked the people to vote which is the laugh they think should represent humanity. And the idea was that actually people can actually get also a physical, tangible laugh star. But the chosen one, the one that was chosen, this is a print on Earth of the final laugh star, was made by a young woman from Las Vegas, Natia, her name is. And here is the moment I'm calling her, telling her she won. Out of over 100,000 submissions of laughs in the last 30 days, guess what? Who won? In the next 24 hours, we're going to print your laughter in space. See, you are the human being whose laughter is going to represent humanity in space forever. So obviously she was pretty happy. 20 hours later, we literally printed it in the Space Shuttle. And this is a video of the moment this very famous astronaut, Peggy Whitson, she just landed a few weeks ago back on Earth. She broke every record as an astronaut. This is the moment she's literally taking the object that printed, the sculpture, and sort of seeing that it's connected and whatever. But kind of 2 months ago, I was on my way back to Tel Aviv. I was sick and depressed in the airport. in Athens, and with my friend Ronnie, she's here, and I got an email from the astronaut, and they said, sorry, apologize, it took us 3 months, but we have produced a video of your art in space. And that made me happy. So now I'm very happy and proud to show you the sculpture in space, floating. My bad. Sorry. Because I don't have a lot of time, but I want to share with you that, I was lucky not just to be offered by NASA this opportunity, but also to be able to create art which really nobody really needs. It doesn't have any return on investment. But this love star shows how beautiful humanity is, how fragile we are, utilizing all those smart technologies and brains to create something that nobody really needs. But it contains, I think, the most beautiful expression we humans have. It's laughter, and this is a mathematically encapsulated object. Maybe in the future, future humans can find it and decipher our laughter today, how we sound it. So this is laugh. I have more. Okay, thank you very much. Next project was a crazy one, not that the other one was not, but this one I had only 8 weeks to work. I programmed and scripted and did everything myself 8 weeks. Normally I have a team. It's just that I didn't have much time and I couldn't invite anybody to join. It was too crazy. But I was offered by Professor Peter Weibel, the director of the ZKM Museum, to participate in a projection biennale. And I made a work which I call cleansing. And it comes out of sort of a moment where I think we all experience when you hear the news, you're just totally fed up and you're so scared and terrified. You feel as if there is a need for cleansing. It could be a personal cleansing process, but also it could be a global cleansing process that we actually see the world starting to go through. So this is what I've done. This is a short video that will show you. It was in Karlsruhe. Thank you. Um, this was a 10 minutes work where I literally on a 400-meter castle sucked your soul, totally crashed it, and then I brought it back to you. Which really is kind of a moment where I think we all should be aware that we are, there are really crazy people managing the world right now, and that makes me worry, and I guess so you too. This is, for those who weren't in Tel Aviv, this is what I showed 2 months ago in Tel Aviv. This work was also with Peter Weibel in Germany for Biennale in projection. I call it Water Dancer. So I created a simulation of a very famous dancer, a world-known contemporary dancer. Her name is Sharon Eyal, and it's a new vision technology I've been working on. So it's not motion capture, and then it's all liquid simulation, which is then I'm projecting on a water wall. And so it's like a fountain that is I'm using it sort of as a screen to project the water dancer. I only have 2 minutes and I want to show more. So I'm producing now a series of those sculptures from the water dancer. Some will be small, some large. Pretty big challenge. I love challenges. So I promise to show also new things that I've been working on. So Shakespeare said that the world has music to those who listen. Pretty smart. So that really was in my head for a long time. And if so far I used your voice or sound to actually create geometry, to create objects, so something similar to this, right? So I'm taking the spectrogram, and now the spectrogram, I'm literally analyzing it mathematically, creating landscapes, creating sculptures, like you've seen so far in my LAF project. Well, the next thing I want to do is what Shakespeare said. So if we look at a record, right? So this is sort of a close-up of how a vinyl record works. You know, the ups and downs, like a spectrogram. I said, well, maybe I should develop a software, which I'm actually working on now, and I'll run drones above the Earth in different locations. You know, above places we ruined, humans, about places that nobody touched, like mountains, and reverse engineer it, sort of create sonification out of nature. So basically take the nature landscape and reverse it back to music. But reverse it back to music through smart technologies that will become beautiful music and not just technical sound. And so stay tuned on that. This is something I'm very excited about. And the final one is something which I'm working on constantly now, and I intend to do it more. So I read this research, I'm sure some of you too, that in 2050 there's going to be more plastic bottles than fish in the sea. I'm a father, I have 4 kids, and there's no freaking way I want my kids to live in such a world. And I think art should not just have meaning, but it also should have impact at times. So very much like what I've tried to do in space with NASA, sort of unifying us, showing that we all laugh, and it's contagious, and we're not so different. Well, here's another thing. I simulated this ocean. And so I'm working on this series of projects, and some I want them to be really social impact outside. And so this is really the only thing I can really share right now. But I want people to be aware that the clock is ticking, and we have to change this OC2 and this whole pollution. I'm not entering into the global warming debate because I don't know what's the hidden agenda of politicians, where the budgets are going. But one thing I'm sure, we are polluting the world a lot. So art, I think, can help me deal with one of those subjects. So nature, earth, society. That's it, people. Thank you very much.